New York.
Apple.
Hot dogs.
Dollar.
Hollywood.
Democracy.
Freedom.
Rock and roll. Wall Street.
Statue of Liberty.
Los Angeles, California. McDonald's.
Jeans.
Bubblegum. Video games. Nintendo.
What's so great about America?
Every Saturday night, 7 to 9 p.m., explore American culture and language.
With Master Steve,
Ina MK,
And Hasba Cutie.
tune in to find out about what makes America so great.
The Great American Weekend. Listen exclusively on Radio Van 103.1.
Also, watch us on the Radio Von Facebook page, website, and mobile app.
Good evening, dear listeners of Radio Van. This is the Great American Weekend, and we're here on this rainy evening, trying to share with you some positive
yes, it's a wonderful
vibes.
rainy spring day.
Isn't that a good time for fitness?
You know, it's rare to walk in the rain, and I take joy in the times where I get the possibility to just take a walk in the rain and enjoy it, because it's different. It's just different.
You're romantic.
I don't mind walking in the rain.
That.
It is nice to walk in the rain as long as it's not pouring.
And you have an umbrella.
And it wasn't pouring today. I don't like umbrellas. I hate umbrellas.
I like the ones where you can use it like
as a cane.
Yeah,
well, yeah, okay.
And
Only because
tonight's
canes are cool.
Theme is fitness, sports, gym, everything that is connected to action,
walking, rain or shine.
Activity.
Yeah, or exercising, rain or shine. I'm not quite that dedicated.
Yeah, and our first guest is going to be a Les Mills trainer and a trainer at Gold's Gym.
Wait. What was Les Mills?
Les Mills is a Les Mills trainer. Is a type of aerobic activity that we'll learn more about that from our guest.
I just want to earmark it because that was like a completely foreign language to me.
Oh yeah. Well, it is kind of to me too, and we'll probably find out more from Daniel Jacknouz, a trainer here in Armenia.
Good news.
Yeah, the nickname Good News. Yeah,
Good
Good
the nickname
News
that you gave him.
Yeah, his older brother. He's the older brother of my trainer, whose name is Julian Jacknouz, who I call Bad News because every time I go into the gym, I get trained by him. It's bad news. But Danny, he's good news because he's got like groups of people in his aerobic routines that are just really phenomenal. His energy is really great, and I'm glad that he's going to be here for us to kind of have a talk about what fitness means, group fitness, personal fitness, and just kind of get an overall perspective of someone. He himself has kind of gone through a transformation from being overweight as a younger person to getting fit and becoming a trainer. So it's kind of like this dream come true story. I'm excited to have him as a guest, and then we have another awesome guest on.
Yeah. So this is we've got two guests today.
We have an exclusive show. One show, two guests during 2 hours.
All for you.
All for you guys.
Yeah.
And Steven is going to present our second guest.
Yes.
Yeah, who is it?
So we've got
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Houry Gebeshian. Did I say the name right?
You said it right.
Good. I've been practicing.
You get a round of applause.
Sometimes there are still some names here in Armenia that I just don't get, but this one I got. Apparently.
Just like you guys say in the jingle, it's an American thing.
It's
an
Armenian
thing.
You know, especially when these things get written out in Latin characters.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just don't. So, Houry, she is or was the first Armenian Olympic gymnast.
Whoa.
Female, yes. And
wow, the first woman Armenian gymnast. That's phenomenal.
Women.
Olympic gymnast, yeah. So,
oh my God, what
great.
a show!
And now she's a physician assistant. She's from the U.S. She grew up there. She's here visiting, actually on a Birthright Armenia tour. And
shout out to Birthright Armenia.
Stuff. Yeah. So we'll have her the second hour of our show tonight.
We're pretty excited because it's gonna be really intense in matter of getting a lot of information from different people who have such a good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fitness starts right here from our studio.
From our seats, sitting down,
Yeah.
talking a lot.
Yeah, that works. We're going to sit around and talk, and that'll help us get healthy.
Well, some people say that fitness starts from the brain, so
Then goes down to the mouth and then enters into the body,
yeah, especially the mouth.
especially the mouth.
Yeah.
Subtle innuendos for all of you folks out there.
Whoa.
You've got to
That's not where I was going with that one.
close your mouth. Not to eat too much, right?
Yes, exactly.
So what
The
is fitness
diet
to
matters.
you?
What's fitness
Adamas?
to me? Oh man, I used to think fitness was about exercise, and I realized that it's part of it, just because building muscle helps to increase your metabolism, which helps to clear out and use and metabolize all the vitamins and minerals inside of your body that you eat and consume from your diet. But it's really what your diet is based off of that provides all that nutrition to your body. So I've kind of adopted a like an 80% diet based approach to fitness more than exercise, even though exercise really is important in terms of blood flow, cardiovascular health, mental health as well, just because when you feel better, you're better in general. So I would say diet is fitness for me, plus 20% exercise, because you got to do that something.
Well, see, and here's something I want to ask maybe both of our guests, definitely our first guest. How important is like exercise, and then how important is just being active? I mean, if you're walking, if you're just generally active, live an active lifestyle without necessarily exercising, how good is that for you?
That's a good question.
That's good.
Because I know in the U.S. now, so many people have these little fitness trackers that they track their steps, and I need to get in my 10,000 steps today, and da 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 da.
Yeah,
They're not exercising in terms of going out and going for a run or getting on the treadmill or the elliptical or lifting weights or anything like that.
They're just walking in the room.
They're walking in the room. I mean, I've got a fitness tracker too. I've got this little, and I have it mostly for running, because I run a little bit.
How many steps do you have today, Stephen?
14,140.
Hey, nice.
That's a lot.
But that has
That's
a
only
lot to do
today?
with. That's just today. I do. It's been like 3 weeks now that I've hit over 10,000 a day, and that's my goal, 10,000 a day. And I usually hit it, and even if I don't, usually over the course of a week, I'm at 11 or 12,000 steps average per day. But I've got so many already today because I went out running last night after midnight. So the running steps actually counted for
That's where that comes
today.
from.
That question that you had for our guests is why it rang really important for me, was because there's an article I read about how sitting is the new smoking. And there's this research article about how cardiovascular health is equally impacted by sitting for long periods of time as much as smoking. And then the World Health Organization also said something about like dried meats or processed meats being as carcinogenic as cigarettes as well. So there's this three-pronged interesting comparison with smoking, which is eating processed foods is bad for you, sitting for long periods of time is bad for you, and almost as bad as smoking would be. So
really,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And Hasva, do you think advertisement is also as
anything
Advertisement
that gives money, anything that gives you money is good.
Good for you. It's healthy.
Well,
it's everyone should. Never mind.
Yeah, everyone should have a healthy dose of advertising. Buy your new advertisement today, and
for only $9.99. So, dear listeners, we're all ready for a short break, after which we'll come back with you with our Great American Weekend Fitness and Sports episode. Stay tuned.
Stay with us, friends.
Yeah, also you can watch us on www.radiovan.fm, our official website, and the Facebook page Radio Van FM 103.1, and our group, of course, Great American Weekend, Radio Van. Hasva QT, Master Steve, and Ina MK will be back.
Come and hang with us every weekend. It'll be a blast.
A blast?
Yeah, a good time.
No, come chill with us. It'll be cool.
Chill?
Yeah, relax, hang out.
Come chew the fat with us.
Yuck! No way! Join us!
On the Great American Weekend, where we'll help you decode American slang.
Welcome back to the Great American Weekend here on Radio Vaughn. I am Master Steve. I've got Hasba QT next to me.
Hello, hello.
And Ina MK over there.
Yeah.
We're going to start the second segment of our show, laying down some terminology and some slang related to fitness and working out.
Come and hang with us.
Yeah,
Sling,
come and hang
sling
with
and
us.
slang. Sling and slang.
Come
I like
and-
saying
Well,
sling.
yeah,
and
I
Come
mean-
and fit with us. It will be a blast.
Come get pumped up with us.
Oh, pumped up.
Pumped
That's
up.
good.
Pumped up, yeah.
That pump going on.
That
Get the
sounds-
burn. Feel the
Yeah,
burn.
See, now what is that? Feel the burn?
Well, burning calories or also
Burning fat.
Feeling that burn in your muscles
Yeah,
when
in the
you're
muscles.
working them hard. And
Yes. It's like
I'm burning. I'm
Yeah.
burning.
that might be something else.
when you be,
That might not be fitness related.
Everything is so complicated nowadays.
what is the slang
every
that you know?
word has like 6 different meanings now.
What is the slang that you know about like someone that is fit? Like someone is
They're buff.
Fit as a fiddle. That's a saying,
fit
but
as a
it's not.
fiddle,
It's not
yeah.
slang. Someone's
Oh, it's a
buff.
saying.
Buff is
Buff,
one.
yeah.
Hot or hottie. That's another one.
Well, but that's not necessarily fit.
Attractive.
That's attractive.
Yeah, it's true. Buff is a good one.
Ripped.
Ripped. Yeah.
So what exactly
Ripped?
does that mean?
Being ripped.
Yeah.
Ripped?
Well,
Like
I-
having well-defined muscles?
You know, I think it looks like you have. Yeah. Well, that's basically what it is. Like when you have very little body fat percentage and all your skin is basically just revealing your muscles. So I think that's
Okay.
what ripped means.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now, people that go to the gym, in English, they're not gymnasts. Gymnasts are people
Yeah.
that do gymnastics.
Yes.
You know,
True.
it's just like a person that cooks is not a cooker. They're a chef,
Yes.
right? They're not gymnasts. What you do at the gym kind of determines what you're called while you're there.
Oh, sorry. I thought of another. No, I just thought of another slang term. Hunk.
Hunk.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's somewhat attractive, but also about the fitness too, because there's like a hunk,
Yeah.
like it also means like a piece of something or like a big chunk of something. So a hunk specifically for men, I think that's a word. And when you were saying about the gym, there's another terminology. There's another term. The
Warm up.
The what?
No. Well, we'll get. Hopefully, we'll get to that. You know, it's all about time.
I
Yeah.
know. But there's
It's on my list.
There's a gym that I used to go to that's a warehouse-based gym. It's like gigantic, and all the people that go there are like normal everyday people, not like super trainee or super getting into bodybuilding
So
people.
it's not like
just
Arnold Schwarzenegger. And,
not like
okay.
Gold's Gym where I go to where Arnold Schwarzenegger is like pasted on the entire wall. You know, it's like this place is like for families. You know.
Okay.
And so they have this thing called it's an alarm, and it's an alarm for something they coined. It's a word called a lunk, which is like a loser hunk, and they define it on the wall. There's like a lunk alarm, and in the area where people do weight training, they have this alarm so that people that go there that do weightlifting, they don't curse out loud, or they don't yell, or they don't grunt, which I do freely at the gym that I go to. But at this one, they kind of like want to keep it family based. And
Yeah, but what do you yell? I mean, like are you grunge?
oh my god, anything that you can imagine. I cuss
Or
my
are
brains
you-
out like fuck, shit, and like every time that I go like want to say, like I just go for it. And what's interesting though, I found myself in English, I would curse my brains out, and I would wear my headphones so I wouldn't hear it, so I don't have to hear the shame of like what words I'm using, because I really am into exercise. But what I did notice is that
No, you're really into torturing yourself. It sounds like.
no, yeah, well,
and others
Yeah,
by
for the sake of muscles,
slinging profanities.
for the slinging slang.
Slang is over.
But in Armenian,
No, it's not. We'll come back. We'll come back and do more later.
is it-
I hope.
are- is it already over,
We're running,
actually,
we're
or-
running to.
Yeah, finish
We're
your
running
story.
our way
Okay,
into
so
the
I can
commercial break.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in
One
English,
minute.
in English it's all curse words.
Yeah.
In Armenian, though, however, it's all like Jesus Christ, or like oh my God, or Jesus,
Yeah, but
Mary,
there's
Mother, and
something-
Joseph. You know, like
There's something
it's like
about-
it's like an arm. It's like Astvad, my Astvadzin,
but
Jesus
there's-
Christos.
but
You know,
there's
like I
something about-
can't say curse words in Armenian. It's so interesting. I don't know why. There's something ingrained in the language where it
There's
doesn't allow me to.
still more-
Make sure you don't say these things at church. I
There's
don't know.
still
Jesus
there's.
Christos.
I mean, curse words in Armenian are still more taboo
Yeah.
than they
Don't
are
say
in
them.
English.
Don't say them.
I
You know,
mean,
I
they
don't know
sound so
any.
weird.
So,
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know
when
any
somebody
curse
starts
words.
yelling at me angrily in Armenian and it's a bunch of words I don't know, then it's like, those are probably curse words. Don't remember them because you don't want to say them.
We're ready. We're ready for an advertisement
them.
break and a song, "Lay Your Love Down" by Stevie Wonder, coming next, following
by-
the advertisement. So
And
the
we've got
song
our
is
guest.
dedicated to the rain, and then we'll have Daniel,
Our special guest,
in
Daniel
our
Jacknouz,
studio.
Les Mills trainer, Gold's gym trainer, and amazing person.
Jacknouz,
Good news.
Stay tuned. Hey Steve, do you like Chash Harisan Spas?
Yeah, I love them. But what would you call them in English?
Yeah, I'd call them cowfoot stew, chicken porridge, and sour yogurt soup.
Sorry I asked.
The Great American Weekend.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Great American Weekend, where we're talking about fitness today, and not necessarily, well, maybe about cowfoot stew and those other things that you heard on the jingle.
Diet.
We're here with our special guest today. I'm really excited actually to have a conversation because I know you personally, but also because of the impact that you have on a lot of people in Armenia and in Dubai. We have on our show Daniel Jacknouz,
Yes.
trainer, Les Mills trainer, trainer at Gold's Gym here locally, and also a person who's gone through his own transformation.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us today, Danny.
Hello, Daniel.
Hello, I'm so
Hello.
happy to be here, guys. Nice meeting you. I was following you last week through Facebook, and
We
I'm
saw
so,
your comment.
yeah, and I'm super excited today to spread the passion, to spread the knowledge to the people, especially in Armenia, Yerevan, and to let the people understand how important to be healthy and how important to be active, as you mentioned before at the beginning, moving forward, especially just not being active in your physically, like whatever you do on daily basis. Once you be active, your life will change. And my story started in that point, in that corner. I used to be a life insurance agent in Dubai for almost 3 years, and I was struggling, just moving and knocking the doors just to sell life insurance in Dubai. And it was a bit tough to let them understand the importance of selling life insurance and to insure their life, because in such countries they don't believe in such things.
Yes.
And then being active and moving forward to join the gym, and I say thank you from this radio van today to my brother David and sister Mirna, that they gave me the power to go to the gym and start my journey. So
Thank you,
I
David.
lost-
Thank you, Mirna.
Yeah. So I lost around 40 kilos.
Wow.
Being active in the gym, and I attended the Les Mills classes that you mentioned, guys, before. Les Mills is a huge company and a huge family in New Zealand, Australia. They spread the passion and all over. We're around 100,000 instructors. We teach specific programs that they combine shaping, toning muscles and losing fat by combining high intensity interval training workouts, which means HIIT. The HIIT is that you burn calories during the workout and afterwards, after 24 hours. So with this company, the love between each other, the concept of being healthy and standing on that stage, spreading the passion to the people joining the classes, is something priceless. It's not just about being there just to get money. That's why I always go to my job, and I don't call it job, to my stage, to my home, with huge energy and positivity, just to give it to the people who are asking for this, especially nowadays. You have like lots lot of negative vibes from different angles. So you need such things to combine exercise with music.
Some type of that's why you are, for me, good news.
Yeah,
and that's why.
Thank you for
that's
this.
That's why. Even though maybe your younger brother, who's my personal trainer, Julian, might be a strong. He's he's got a positivity too, but it's a different thing. You've got a real an impact and an influence that I see, and it's really inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
May I? Daniel, I read a quote saying that fitness also polishes spirit. What do you have to say about that?
Polishes?
Polish. It polishes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Spirit.
Well, with
not to be confused with the Polish spirit, which is it's a nationality.
yeah. Well, fitness it's a huge, let's say, huge word. Once you be active, it doesn't need to be in the gym or to be with a personal trainer or to lift dumbbells, heavy dumbbells, and to build these muscles. With fitness you can be active whenever and wherever you want. So that quote it connects you as a person, as a character, to your actions. You choose your action. We decided to be here today with you guys. It's an action. This moment, this minute, this second, it's your decision. That's why.
And it's your decision.
Definitely. And I'm so happy that I made this decision with you guys, and I'm so happy that I've become a trainer, and I'm moving forward with people, with such people, meeting positive people every day. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't agree with you more. I think that type of positivity, especially within the realm of physical fitness, has a huge impact on how you feel in your own relationship about activity. So, if you enjoy going for the walk, you'll go for the walk. If you enjoy, like going to the gym or going for a swim, you'll have that positive vibe back with it instead of feeling like it's a chore, which a lot of us kind of do.
Definitely. Yeah.
I had a question for you about how important, when it comes to fitness, is the balance between diet and physical activity. Because from what I've read and what I've seen, there's so much importance that is put onto getting fit, looking good, feeling good, and I feel like there's an important component with regards to diet, and I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah. Well, if you search now on Google, you write just fitness, healthy lifestyle. Let's be more specific. They tell you 80% or let's say 70% food, 30% working, and I disagree, totally disagree, because it should be 100% with both sides, because everything is connected. Once you go and work out and you go home and you have your unhealthy snacks or food like
Snickers after chocolate,
potato
definitely,
chips.
yeah, that's the big reason. That's why you need to follow the right
path.
Exactly, right path, right tips, more fibers, more veggies, less carbohydrates, more proteins, and then to be more specific nowadays, definitely I think you're following this diet now, Armazat.
You know what I call it? Aramast follows the I call it the ketogenic diet.
Oh, this is a nice name, by the way.
I had a friend, my friend Mary coined that term, the ketogenic diet.
And Hasva and I are sister and brother in keto.
In the keto world, yes, we're keto
cult.
brother and sister right now. I just got back into it. Yeah, ketogenic is specifically for overweight people. I feel like it's really exceptional because it gives you the freedom to eat however much you want without the worry of going over a caloric impact.
Yep.
Because you're foregoing the quality of the food that you're eating, which is real foods, less carbohydrates, that starts burning fat with ketos. Anyway, I'm going to let you talk because I don't want to talk about
Well,
that.
that's why they call it a diet. It's not a lifestyle. So it's like a specific period of time. You can just cut the carbohydrates because you get the energy from that. So it's a diet. It's a diet. It's not a healthy lifestyle for a long term. This is what I meant.
Well, I mean, with the ketogenic diet, with the ketogenic diet,
Hashtag.
He can't even pronounce it. I'm not even going to try.
It's basically like cutie and jonic. It's like a cutie. With the ketogenic diet, it's interesting because it is lifestyle. It has lifestyle possibility because it's all veggies growing above the ground. It's seasonal berries that are being eaten in at the time, like strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and cheeses and eggs and meat. So it has all those things, and carbs are counted. Yeah, I mean, like no processed foods, real food. So like imagine the real food diet. What does that mean? It just means you're eating real food, like as close to whole as possible. What kind of diet do you follow?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask what kind of diet you follow. I was curious what kind of diet or what do you eat?
This is what I meant. I don't follow a diet. It's a healthy lifestyle. It's before working out, after working out.
So you eat cakes and chocolates and
definitely
all kinds of
I don't
stuff.
eat cakes, but I do. But I do eat
Your
sweets
life is
like.
sad.
No, come on.
It's like
No birthday parties
I love
for
how
him.
Danny's like, I definitely do not eat cakes.
Well, sometimes in my birthday party, they like insist to have some pieces. You can just.
You can't say no.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
sorry.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do agree, Steve.
And speaking of walking the path, how to do the first step and from fat to fit? How to do the first step?
You mean
What
by
to start
shifting
with?
the zone, like being fit?
Yeah, like I've decided from.
I like what you did there. That was like Jedi mind tricks. No, seriously, you were just like, let's get rid of the fat thinking and enter into the zone of fit thinking. You're like, let's not even acknowledge that because you are fit already. Boom.
Definitely,
That was did you see that? That was Jedi mind tricks, right? That was excellent.
Guru.
The importance of words.
So how to do the first step? I want to lose weight. I want to start all this lifestyle, be active, etc. But I'm lazy, or I'm afraid that this won't work, or so how to do the first step and make this decision?
Well, first step is very important, and I can give you just one big word, which is motivation. What motivates you to come here today? What motivates you to wake up every morning? What motivates you to be active? So to have that motivation, that's why we encourage everyone to join group classes. It's a teamwork with music. They encourage each other. They push each other. We push ourselves to the maximum. We sweat a lot. We burn a lot of calories during the class, up to 1,000 calories in each class. So it's not something that you can just say, I'm lazy to do that. You're going to wake up every morning. You're going to say, I'm going to go to this class, to Les Mills body pump, for example. So it's not just a routine style. It's totally addiction. How people, they smoke. Every morning they go, they smoke, they eat. After eating, they smoke. So it's the same routine, but with more healthy, more positive, more active.
How do I sign up? How do I want to sign up to this? That you just convinced me. I'm convinced.
Yes, you're welcome.
I'm motivated.
Let's start working out
motivated.
now.
Let's work.
There you go.
I want to ask how you said 1,000 calories in one workout. Do you have any advice for people who are just getting started or who are already into some sort of exercise or training routine about how to kind of judge their own, not performance, but to judge how much they're pushing themselves, if they're going too far or not enough? I mean, how do you know? How does a person know whether they're doing enough or too much?
That's why the trainers are standing on the stage. First of all beginners, they have an option to stay till half of the class. Because the class is divided to let's say 8-9 tracks. So we use music. So at the beginning we do the warm up. And then after the warm-up, we focus on specific muscles, for example, in body pump, Les Mills body pump. And then how do they know that? It's up to 1,000 calories. I didn't say 1,000 in right number, up to 1,000. There are people, they burn 950, and there are 200. It depends how much weight they're putting on the barbell. Are they following the exercises on a right pattern? That's why everything is organized with Les Mills classes. The beginning and at the end, everything is organized. Everything is well. They took a lot of time to start these specific programs. They started on the 70s, so it's a long period of time. They shifted the programs, comparing with other programs, like from the 70s till now, 2019. It's a huge number of years, so it depends on the trainer standing on that stage. That's why we go to take model trainings, to get certified, 2 days of model training, and then afterwards we send video to them. They accept or not. They tell us you need to record again. So everything is being professional. Person stepping in the room is going to get definitely results, and this is what happened with me.
Okay,
Cool.
great.
That's a path.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. I was curious about how you see fitness in Armenia today as compared to, let's say, you've been here for 6 years, 5 years,
Almost 7 years.
7 years. How do you see fitness or fitness awareness or health awareness changing in Armenia from the time you arrived to now? And then what is the current state right now?
Yeah.
Like, what do you see?
Well, fitness got improved a lot. Now everyone is running around. Before 7 years, when I decided just to run outside, we were just talking, me and Steve, about this conversation before a few minutes ago. When you run outside and they stare at you, they look at you, what are you doing? Are you doing, we're running, come on, we're burning calories, we're being active. So now everything got changed. We're getting a lot of specific events like marathons every year, being healthy, they call it in Armenian, aroch, apre la. So I'm super happy to let the fitness go higher. So that's why we need more trainers, we need more professional personal trainers and fitness group exercise. And I was telling you that before.
Can I be a trainer?
Yes, why not? You need to work on that.
By the way, we have plenty of comments to the show, and one of them is by David Jacknouz, who says, what an added value to the fitness world this guy is.
That's true. That is
Thank
true.
you, David.
Good news.
you.
Good news is good news.
Thank you, Irene, for your comments. We're the Holy Trinity, she says.
Oh boy, so it's quite a
responsibility.
quite a symbol to live up to.
And I have a question. How to fight with lazy days? Besides the motivation, we know about that.
Yeah. Well, with fitness, fitness, because today it's all about fitness. With fitness, you need to have everything organized, a target. For example, you start today, you need to understand that you need to reach to a day to finish this. Once you have everything well organized, okay, with a calendar, that today is the day, tomorrow is off, third day is I'm gonna pick up dumbbells, fourth day I'm gonna jump. So once you organize the days, you will definitely you will never say a lazy day. First of all, you're gonna take a picture of your body. After 1 week, you're gonna see the difference. If you don't see difference, keep moving forward, because maybe it's gonna be after 8 days, not 7 days. So having lazy days is impossible with fitness, especially if you're having a right, healthy diet routine, like a diet plan. Because if you're eating unhealthy food, you will definitely feel lazy, and you will never sleep enough, because sleeping enough helps a lot to be active as well. So never being lazy, no negative energy. This is my quote for today.
Thank you. We'll use it during later for the text.
Yeah.
And what about working out during the pregnancy? This will be my last question.
Well, you can't say working out, you can say moving, because working out is a bit dangerous, especially after this, let's say, because pregnancy 9 months, after 6, it's a bit dangerous. Swimming is good. Going to yoga classes is good as well. So you can be active while pregnancy, definitely, and especially with Les Mills programs, we always add this to the class, especially when we have any pregnant women in the class. We say that you need to follow specific options that we do during the class, like body balance and other programs like yoga, because body balance is connected with yoga. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And do you have anything to say for a conclusion? Because we're ready to.
All right.
We have to
we're
go
not
to commercial
ready,
break,
but
and then we have to let you go.
This is the
Yeah.
finish, yeah? All right. I would like to thank you so much, guys, for giving me the chance and the window to be here.
And thank you for all your positive vibes.
Definitely. I'm
you gave
always
us.
ready
Yeah.
to do that.
We are motivated, for sure.
You're welcome to join my classes at Gold Gym Armenia in 3 branches, in Amirian, Komidas, and Avan. I'm performing classes there as well. And Steve, all of you, be positive all the time. Be happy, whatever you do.
I thought you were going to say, Steve, all of you will have a big discount.
Well, why not? It's not a discount. You're gonna have a guest pass whenever you want. Just let me know. I'll be more than
great.
happy to
Thank you.
to be there. So thanks
Thank
so
you.
much. Thanks for the people watching now, for your comments, for everyone, and have a good evening. Rainy evening.
Yeah, this-
Rainy,
Thank you.
romantic, active evening.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hey,
Thank you,
hey,
Danielle.
hello. Whoa. Things got a little heated in here right quick. It was
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
And we'll come back to you after the break.
Hello?
Hi, is your refrigerator running?
No, it doesn't have any legs.
Some American jokes just don't work with foreigners.
Welcome back to the Great American Weekend on Radio Vaughn.
Yes, we're back. We enjoyed our first guest. And in a little bit, we will host our second guest. Hooray! Yahoo!
Hooray for Hooray.
Hooray for hooray.
Yes.
And now, are we ready for some quotes as usual?
Are they
Always.
quotes about health
Fitness.
and fitness?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ina's
fantastic.
bringing the quotes again.
Yeah, so the first one says, physical fitness is not only one of the most important keys to a healthy body, it is the basis of dynamic and creative intellectual activity, says John F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy, an American president. This is an American show. My mind is blown because it's fitness and American.
Everything is American.
Maybe one of the most famous American presidents from the 20th century.
Yeah.
To tell you more, we have another guest. We have another quote by Kennedy.
Was he was the first Catholic president,
Oh,
right?
yes. Yeah. I want to be president despite the fact that I'm a Catholic. Where's that from?
Where's
Anybody?
that from? No.
Anybody?
No.
Bueller.
If any of our
No
listeners
clue.
recognize that, put it in the comments. If you're a faithful
Can you say
listener of the show,
Can you say the quote again?
I want to be president despite the fact that I am a Catholic.
Can they Google that?
They probably can, which the internet makes trivia no fun.
Yeah,
I want to
know.
say John F. Kennedy.
Turn
No,
off your
no.
Richard
phones
Nixon?
and
Yeah,
think.
Zeus.
Oh wait, I can't say.
Yeah.
Give us your answers to find out.
Next quote.
Next
Oh, yes.
quote. Our growing softness, our increasing lack of physical fitness is a menace to our security, says John Kennedy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's got plenty of quotes about fitness.
We're a bunch of lazy, out of shape people. Come and invade us, you'll win.
But you know what? I don't really like that quote because it's like negative motivation. It's like, yeah, you soft, fat, no activity, like taking person. Let's get fit, and I don't think that works. I think I mean
It
sometimes.
depends. It
Hey,
depends on the
husband,
person.
maybe you like the next one. The purpose of training is to tighten up the slack, toughen the body, and polish the spirit, says Morihei Ueshiba. I don't know how to pronounce this.
I would like to add to that tightening the buns. Oh, that's
the buns. What are the buns?
Slang. What are the buns, Steve? Master Steve. I would like to ask what is the slang for the buns?
Buttocks.
The buttocks.
Buttocks. Your rear end. Your posterior.
The butt.
The butt.
The ass.
Yes.
Okay. Tighten your ass. There's more slang with that.
Do we have more quotes? Please, right now.
I have to add some kind of element of crudeness to the show, otherwise it won't be interesting.
Oh, is that it?
No.
Are we done with the quotes?
We have another one. In fitness, there are no shortcuts. It involves immense discipline and hard work. Mahesh Babu.
Mahesh Babu. Wow. Yeah. Discipline.
Wow.
What does discipline mean, though? I mean, I feel like something you do
it means
ritually?
Punishing people. It means nuns with rulers smacking people on the knuckles.
That's a very Catholic approach to it. I mean, something regular. I guess discipline in this case would mean like something doing something ritually or regularly. Yeah.
Yeah, having a routine. I mean, just like Daniel was talking about, having a routine, doing things, having a schedule, sticking to it, being dedicated, self-discipline.
Discipline. That's our English language learning for this week. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, so are we ready for some news now?
Let's
we have some local news.
Sure.
News.
And the first one is kind of sport news.
All right.
Armenian Grandmaster.
No, wait, time out.
Chess is a sport. Come on.
Chess is not a sport.
It's a mental sport.
It's a game.
It's a mental sport.
It's a game. Well, I suppose.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Now we agree on that one. Armenian Grandmaster Levon Aronyan has taken the 10th spot in FIDE's latest rating of chess players worldwide.
Wow.
Aronyan abandoned the list of top 10 strongest players of the world for the first time in many years in March 2018, but has now recovered his spot. Magnus Carlsen of Norway still leads the FIDE list and is closely followed by Fabiano Caruana from US and Ding Liren from China.
Yeah, I just want a little story. Maybe almost 10 years ago, not quite 10 years ago, I was looking for some little sport thing for one of my kids. I forget whether it was a basketball or something like that. And we went into this little sport shop. And that was before you had like Mega Sport and the big sport shops here. So we finally found this little sport shop on Mashtut Street. And we walk in and, I'm looking around. Okay, so they've got the boxing gear and the, basketball and ping pong and all this stuff. And then, they've got chess. I'm like, what is that doing here?
Chess boxing.
Chess
boxing is a real thing, my friend. It's
right next to the boxing
term.
gloves, they had the chess set.
Yeah. Chess boxing is real. Chess boxing is mental sparring through the logical moves and the ability to anticipate the other person's moves, as in playing chess. And the slang terminology for that is called chess boxing. It's basically playing chess, but it's a slang term for it.
Oh, so you're not literally boxing.
No. It's not
it's just a...
Like knight to queen 6. No, you're not like punching anyone in the face.
Yeah, you want to move your knight to queen 6? You got to knock me down before I'll let you make that move.
Ding, ding, ding. That would be great, actually, to combine the two. Oh, can I add one interjection here, too? I would like to say, this is probably the only place where you can use the word grandmaster and not have it sound like it's a racist term.
Grandmaster Steve.
Yeah.
Or like a rap.
Oh yeah,
moniker.
Grandmaster Flash.
Yeah, Grandmaster
exactly.
Flash.
We have some cyber news here. Armenian police bust Yerevan-based cybercrime syndicate targeting U.S. users via tech support scam. So an organized crime group consisting of Indian and Armenian nationals has been busted by Armenian police in what appears to be an international cybercrime syndicate that has scammed unsuspecting internet users by stealing personal data. Police said they received a report that a Yerevan-based office Piconet Technologies, are using the tech support scams online to steal money from internet users in the United States and Canada. Users would get fake security warnings on their screens and were told to call a toll-free number to get it fixed. Unsuspecting internet browsers would call the number, and employees of the company would answer the calls and scam from $100 to $2,000. What a creative...
Yeah, I think this is part of the reason why there are certain American
approach.
websites I can't get to from here. Like Target. Target won't let me enter their website.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Yeah. Well, it's because of cybercrime and cybersecurity.
Well, when you're so close to Russia.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, sometimes actually, if you look up your IP address here in Armenia, sometimes they'll say that you're in Russia, even though it's an Armenian IP address. So for a lot of the world, Armenia is kind of considered Russia in terms of IP addresses, like
and
internet
also for
location.
many Russians too. Armenia is like our little brother, as part of our team. You're guarding the whole Middle East for us.
Is this an Indian accent?
Speaking of
Indian cybercrime accent.
Nietu.
Oh, the Russians are always behind cybercrime. No, they're not. I'm just. And speaking of Russians and whatever, so we're going to continue this.
I love
the news story. The news story that never ends. The Mueller report. Do we want to do that this week?
Yes. Let's.
No,
keep,
we
let's
don't.
Keep,
We don't.
Oh, come on. Please. Just the saga. The saga continues.
The saga.
I mean, it was in the news again this week. It was in the news again this week. Attorney General Barr faced questioning in front of the Senate and refused to face questioning in front of Congress. That's all I'm going to say about it now, because there's really not much new news out of that. But it's the story that never ends.
The one thing that I found interesting was that there was a contradiction between what Mueller was saying about the information that he has given them and what Barr is saying. So that was the one thing that I picked up.
I don't know.
Because
anyway,
my screen bar is saying that we
need to go to commercial. We need to pay the bills.
The red
we'll be
line
back.
is here. We'll be back for another good portion of segment. You can feel free to speak about Mueller and Russians and whatever. Stay tuned. This is the Great American Weekend with Master Steve, Hasva QT, and
Ina MK.
До свидания, American.
Ina, what would make America great again?
More barbecue.
No, we need more freedom. That's what'll make it great.
Join us on Great American Weekend
and help us solve all of America's problems.
Every show is recorded by the NSA and sent to the White House.
Every single show is recorded by the NSA and sent directly to the White House. That is the truth, whether we know it or not.
Whether they listen to it or not is a whole nother.
You know, I had this whole scheme with a friend of mine to appeal to the NSA to give me my intellectual property of all of the things that I've ever spoken ever. And I wrote them a letter once. Did I tell you about this?
You did it.
Did I tell you about this? Did I tell you about this? I actually wrote the NSA a letter and was like, listen, I need this material because I'm planning a movie
about myself.
And I want to have all the information that you've ever
We're
collected.
supposed to be talking about the news, but I think this is more amusing.
I know. I think it might be interesting to someone somewhere. We'll get to the news in a second. But yeah, basically I was like, May 7th, 1982, I was born. Anything that you have from there until now, can you just send it to me? And then they wrote me a letter back that was very, very diplomatic, 4 pages long. And I think that's like 4 pages. Yeah.
No joke.
The essence of it was, we can neither confirm nor deny the existence or non-existence of such a program, because if we were, the intended use of that program could potentially go into the hands of people who would be bad actors against the state. So they were like, but if you want to appeal it, go for it. And I chose not to. But anyway, now for U.S. news, for all of you curious folks out there, There is a interesting headline. It's the first time a previous president is producing a documentary about a current sitting president. So the Obamas are producing a Netflix documentary about Trump, and this is from the USA News. So Barack Obama and Michelle Obama just announced the lineup of projects they'll be releasing on Netflix, with a documentary taking aim at Donald Trump's presidency listed among them, as CNN reports. The documentary will be an adaptation of Michael Lewis's book, The Fifth Risk: Undoing Democracy, an examination of Trump's failure to effectively staff 3 major government departments when he was elected. In what may be a global first, we have the former president of the United States producing a movie about the current president of the United States on Netflix. Michael Lewis's book won plaudits for revealing the tenuous threads currently holding together the U.S. government, a situation worsened, according to Lewis, by Donald Trump's failure to attract qualified people to fill prominent government positions. I mean, just to interrupt the flow of this, we just had our ambassador replaced recently, no? Like
Here?
Yeah. Is that something that happens during the course of a presidency?
Yeah.
I mean, during the course of a presidency, though,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I mean,
That's no connection.
From my
No
memory,
connection.
every 2 to 4 years, ambassadors are moved around from here.
I thought it was 4
So it's
years,
not-
like with presidents. So.
Well, it all depends.
So, okay. But yeah, it's interesting that, I mean, there are actually many governmental positions that are not necessarily filled. I remember seeing one list of it written down, and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe that they're functioning without these different roles.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There are a lot of appointees that haven't been approved, that have to be approved by Congress or by the Senate, and they haven't been. And Trump is, and part of that, honestly, has to do with the very divided and partisan nature of Congress right now. And one of the ways, I guess, that Trump has been kind of, getting around that is to appoint temporary people,
which
then
unfortunately
they don't have to be approved. They can just sit there, and I guess there's no limit on how long temporary is. But going back to the documentary, I mean, this is something that's kind of unprecedented in modern American history, in the idea that it is probably the first time somebody's been producing a documentary or a movie, but it's not unprecedented in American history in general. I'm not, like an absolute scholar, but one thing does pop into my mind. Teddy Roosevelt, I believe it was his Secretary of State was elected president after him, and he kind of said, okay, you can, he kind of anointed him as his follower, as the person who was supposed to take over after him. And the guy won the election. I forget his name. And then he didn't do like anything that Roosevelt thought he was going to do. So Roosevelt did spend a lot of time criticizing him, and then in fact
trashing him,
went and campaigned against him and tried to run against him and be president again. So a little bit of an American history lesson there. But
thank you. But we're ready to go on a break to host ours.
And then after the break, we'll be back with guest number 2.
How much time do you got? How many seconds?
10
seconds. The one thing that I would say about the other part of what is contributing to this is the fact that the nepotistic way that he selected people that were close to him, that he only trusted without qualifications based on merit, that were appointed to governmental positions, not just the bipartisan quality of Congress.
Yeah, but that's a whole can of worms that we'll have to get into some other time.
Yeah, nepotism in the United States.
Houry Gebeshian, Armenian gymnast, and also an assistant to a doctor, right?
Physician
assistant, yeah. She's going to be here after our break and the song break, which is When the Rain Begins to Fall. Stay tuned. This is the Great American Weekend with interesting stuff followed.
What's the best word in American English?
My all-time favorite word is but I usually refer to it as lovemaking.
Become more fluent in American English and slang.
Welcome back to the Great American Weekend here on Radio Vaughn. We have Houry Gebeshian
103.1
with us. Yeah, 103.1. We have Houry Gebeshian with us. Did I get your name right?
Yes,
Great.
yes, yes.
I was
Thank you.
practicing. Good.
Hooray.
1 week practicing.
Yes.
Originally, your name was Houry.
I can be taught. Well, because that's kind of how it's spelled in Latin characters.
Does that happen to
Everybody
you?
gets it wrong, but I appreciate you trying, and you did it. You did a good job.
He set me straight.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How are you? Houry-chan?
Good. I'm doing well. I'm happy to be
comfortable
here.
there on the red couch?
Very comfy. Very comfy. Thank
Great.
you.
So let's
So
start.
how many? You're originally from Boston, right? You've been to Armenia now. This is your third time. What brought you here this time?
This time. So, yes, this is my third time. The first 2 times I came was really quick, just 4 or 5 days to get my citizenship, kind of do all of that stuff. This time, I felt like I really actually needed to know, like, what is Armenia?
Wait, so what was the push to get your citizenship?
So, push to get my citizenship was so that I can compete for Armenia and, you know, represent the nation on the world, European, and Olympic stage. And that is what I did.
Great.
Wait, whoa.
Bravo.
Hold on. I want to emphasize here because you're being very humble about this. You are, and correct me if this is not on the button, but you are the first woman gymnast to represent Armenia in the Olympics. Is that correct?
That is correct.
You know how much of an honor it is to have you here? I mean, that's huge.
Thank you.
An autograph, please.
Where's the Sharpie?
Yeah. We can
Well,
arrange
thank
for
you.
that.
I'm happy to be here. I'm really excited to chat with you guys.
That's magnitude. You know, that's.
So, but then this, my original question.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
Why am
before
I here?
Yeah, why are you here this time?
Right. So through all of my experiences, especially, you know, representing a nation at the Olympic Games, I wanted to kind of come back and actually reconnect with my roots. I was given so many opportunities to do amazing things, and I really believe that the people here can have those same opportunities. So I have 3 major goals that I want to accomplish, which I'm not going to be able to accomplish in my little time here, but I will be back. Goal number 1 is to increase the awareness and the education of kind of healthy living here in Armenia. Number 2 is to help encourage equal opportunities for girls and women in comparison to boys here. And number 3 is to develop a prosperous Armenian women's gymnastics program here.
Wow.
I applaud you. I applaud that.
Thank you. Thank you. 3 big goals, but anything
So you've
is
been
possible.
here. You've been here
do
for
it.
about a month,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
With Birthright.
Yes, I came through Birthright Armenia. It's a great organization. I've been kind of like nervous to come because I didn't know, like, what am I going to do? Who am I going to go see? Is there a safe place I can go? And I found Birthright.
Everywhere is safe here.
I found Birthright, and they've like completely helped me with everything that I needed. You know, they hooked me up with a place to stay. They gave me a community that I could hang out with, and really have helped with the communication because, you know, I don't speak Armenian very well, so they've helped me with that. And I'm taking Armenian class through them, so that's helping.
That's great.
Yeah.
What are some Armenian words that you know?
I can hold a basic conversation. Parev, inchbeses, imanunat hurie. You know,
She's got me beat.
I got some basics down.
Women's gymnastics here, and coming from America, and you know this, it seems to me so odd that men's gymnastics here is the bigger thing. In the U.S., it's primarily when the Summer Olympics roll around, you know, and gymnastics comes up, it's almost always about the women's. But that's not necessarily the case in the rest of the world, especially here, apparently. Can you talk a little bit about that and what you're doing specifically here to help change that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it goes back to kind of the culture of healthy living, exercise, sport for men versus women. Gymnastics itself, you know, everyone thinks it's this like fun, prancing around, like feminine sport. But if you actually watch it, it's not. It's like very tough. It takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of like mental power to do gymnastics, and it's a very masculine sport on the men's side, and it's way more popular in the European states for men to compete and do gymnastics, and that's how it is here. We had a very strong women's program when we were part of the Soviet Union, and as you can see, like in Russia, there's lots of girls, but I think culturally here in Armenia, it's kind of been accepted that like girls don't do sports, girls don't get sweaty. They just, are at, home, they get married young, they have kids young, and that's kind of their role. But I think that's changing a little bit. I'm hoping to kind of encourage that it's okay to get sweaty. It's okay to try something new. It's okay to get outside of your comfort zone and do something different. So I think that's kind of why we're in the position that we're in.
What I had a question actually about, so what would be the moment in your story that inspired you and motivated you to commit to the path towards really going deeply into gymnastics, that kind of this switch or this aha moment or eureka moment that gave you that self-confidence to say, this is what I want to pursue, as a story to potential other women that are out there or young women that are thinking or considering the path towards pursuing something in gymnastics or anything in physical activity or in fitness or in sports?
Yeah. Well, for me, I mean, I started gymnastics when I was young, 5 years old. I was just like a really rambunctious kid. I think everybody in gymnastics kind of has a similar story. Their parents just don't know where to put them to get their energy out. And so my parents found gymnastics, and then I instantaneously fell in love. Like, I mean, who wouldn't want to go play around with your friends and roll around in like soft mats and jump in the pit and, do really fun stuff like that. So of course, when I was 5 years old, I loved that. But then as I grew older, there were great lessons that I was learning: perseverance, dedication, discipline, all of these really, really great qualities that now looking back have, propelled me into, the woman that I am today. So I'm really grateful for that sport. And I try and tell people, it's not all about just like working hard and getting sweaty. You do get these life lessons through gymnastics. And I think once I realized that I could kind of catapult my career into something amazing, I'm here, I'm in Armenia, I represented a nation. And I had all of that through sport. That's kind of, I guess, why I decided to continue pursuing it till the age that I did.
By the way, we forgot to thank Steven for bringing you here.
Well, and sorry, and I should give credit to Rafi Petrosian. He's the one who put me in touch.
Okay,
so
thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Now,
thanks,
I
Rafi.
believe we have a music break right now, and then
we can have it. We can drop it.
This is going well. Let's skip it.
And I have a question. Regarding women and starting the gymnastic. Okay, there is this thought that, it's too late for me because I'm old and I cannot do this. Just like you mentioned before, you started from a very young age, and some even teenagers or women in an older age, they think, it's too late for me, so I cannot start it. So what would you recommend? Is it possible to start in an older age?
Absolutely. So when you think of gymnastics, you actually think of like those really petite, thin girls that are out there doing gymnastics. And actually that has changed now. The average age of women doing gymnastics at the Olympic Games is 20, 21, roughly around there. So, and there's tons of adult gymnastics classes that are starting. I don't know about here in Armenia, but definitely in the States. It's becoming like way more of a popular thing. And what I would say is just go out there and do it. Maybe you're not going to be an Olympian, but at least you will have something that creates, a healthy environment for you to move around, to get out there, to get out your energy, to make new friends in, have some type of community. My story, I was 27 when I was competing at the Olympic Games, which is kind of like ancient in gymnastics years. But I took 3 whole years off of doing gymnastics. I got a full-time job. And then I decided to come back to the sport and start doing it again. And the whole story is that, if you set your mind to something and if you have a goal, like, you will achieve it as long as you work toward whatever that is. And if it's you want to do gymnastics, great, do it, start it, see if you like it. You're never going to be upset if you try, but you will be upset if you don't. And that's kind of how I approach really anything in life. And that's what I would recommend.
So you're not currently competing or really training for gymnastics right now, but what's your connection to both gymnastics and to fitness at this point?
Yeah, so fitness has been a part of my life forever, right? Through gymnastics and then just healthy living in general. Eating the right things, walking instead of taking the taxi, things like that have always just been part of my life. I am not competing anymore. I've kind of packed up my grips, packed up my leotard, and have put that aside. But I'm still involved, and what I'm involved in is, I coach. I have my own business with college recruiting and trying to get girls to continue on with gymnastics past their high school career, and kind of just encouraging healthy living and all. And then me personally, I just try and be as active as possible, running, biking. I haven't found something to replace gymnastics, my passion for gymnastics, but, I still try and get up and move at least, a half an hour a day doing something.
Okay, great. Are you coaching at all?
I do coach. I coach 1 day a week. Because, I do have my regular full-time job working as a physician assistant, but I love the gym, so I try and get there 1 day a week. And when I am there, I do play around a little bit. So, you can't put your grips up forever. So sometimes I swing, sometimes I get on the beam, but I don't do anything crazy.
Show the kids how it's done, right?
I am. Well, here in Armenia, I'm volunteer coaching, and I can't, some things I don't know how to say in Armenian, and so I just end up doing it, and it works out.
Lead by example.
Yeah. Gymnastics has a universal language of, just watch me and then you can do it yourself.
Houry, what is the maximum number of kids you can handle at a time?
I don't know. It depends on the kid, right? Some kids are a handful. Some kids are, follow the rules. So it just depends.
In the classroom, I've been able to handle 35 at a time. That's the most, but they're college age kids, right? So that's
I was going to say
different.
35,
and
5-year-old.
Oh, heck no. I've got a 5-year-old at home, and I can only handle her by herself. And I can't do that all day even. So, physician assistant. Mm-hmm. First of all, what is that? Because it's not something that we have here in Armenia, at least not to my knowledge. And how did that come out of, or how does it relate to your history in gymnastics and sport and fitness?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so physician assistant, or PA, it's actually a pretty popular, a really growing field in the States. And what we are healthcare providers on healthcare teams. We work in physician groups. But we prescribe our own medications. We see our own patients. We can, diagnose and treat illnesses kind of on our own. But the whole purpose of our profession is to extend healthcare to the greater population. Not everybody can see a physician, but everybody can see a physician and a PA or a nurse practitioner, some other type of provider. And we can see the majority of anything that rolls in our door. If you're sick and you need to see somebody, you can come see me. If you hurt yourself and you need to see somebody, you can come see me. I work in surgery, I work in obstetrics, and so I work in a very specific field, but we can work in any healthcare field that we want, which is pretty cool for being a PA. And like I said, we are part of a healthcare team. So for some reason, I am overwhelmed or something is a little bit too advanced for me, I can always, contact the physician that's part of my group and ask for help, which is a really good thing that I think we have as PAs. And the reason why I decided to go the PA route was Because one, I didn't want to be a physician. I didn't want to be in school forever. And
what's the difference in schooling between an MD, like a doctor of medicine, and
a PA? So we have the same medical model. We get trained pretty much the same way, but it's like an accelerated, like no breaks, no stops, no nothing. We have our regular 4 years of our undergrad, just like doctors do, but they go to 4 years of medical school, and we go to 2 years of medical school. And then after our 2 years, we're ready to be out in the field with the expectation that when we're out, we'll learn, like, on the job, the specific things that we need to do. So, like, I learned obstetric surgery, like, when I got to the job. If I changed to pediatrics, I would learn on the job the pediatrics, and then I'd be working as a PA. Doctor, you have your 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of medical school,
residency,
then at least 3 years of residency. If you want to do fellowship, you got more fellowship. It's just years and years and years, and I didn't want to do that. Right, time to retire, and you're stuck in whatever it is that you choose. As a PA, like, I could choose to do whatever I want. I'm a pretty indecisive person, so like, I was like, this is going to be perfect. If I hated something that I choose, then I could do something else. But I ended up really loving what I do now. So it worked out.
I have a question to you. Are you more a PA or a gymnast in your heart? And is there a conflict between these two personalities, if I can say?
I wouldn't say there's a conflict. I actually think that having both of my passions,
it's a cooperation.
Healthcare, and then the other athletics. I think both of them, putting them both together, has gotten me to where I am right now. Training up to the Olympics, I held my full-time job working as a PA, and I trained simultaneously. And I think having one and the other kind of let my mind go to one, and then when I was at the other one, I could kind of relax. It wasn't all just, I'm always focused on the Olympics. And I used, my medical knowledge to keep me really healthy, to do all the right things so that I could be the best that I could be when I was training for the Olympics. So I think both of my passions really helped me, and I really want to try and combine both of these passions to do what it is that I want to do here. Right? So increase healthy living.
That's one of the questions that I wanted to ask. Yeah. How has your education and experience as a PA informed how you trained, and then also how you coach and how you advocate for healthy lifestyles and healthy living?
Yeah. So for me, I have like two separate Olympic stories. So I made an Olympic push in 2012. Spoiler alert, I did not make it, clearly. And then I made an Olympic push in 2016.
Both times for the Armenian team? Okay.
Yes. But the first time in 2012, I did not have my medical knowledge. I wasn't, doing the right things. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't, taking care of my body. I wasn't listening to my body. I was overtraining. I was doing all of these things, and I ended up getting hurt. I broke my foot. I had a stress fracture in my foot, and then didn't compete the way that I wanted to. And so then I took all of that knowledge and kind of that failure there, and when I decided to make my comeback in 2016, I really wanted to do it right. At that time, I had gone through my medical schooling, and I really wanted to, have the right diet, do the right, rehab or prehab training so that I would be healthy enough to train, and kind of listen to my body so that I was doing the right things. So that's how I think I made it.
Overtraining. You said that overtraining. How do you gauge that? I mean, I suppose in your case, in 2012, you broke your foot, a stress break in your foot is kind of, but how would you describe that, explain that? I mean, in terms of maybe giving advice to other people who are not necessarily going to be world-class athletes, but just trying to be fit and stay extra healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's all about listening to your body. So I had these aches and pains, and I didn't have enough energy, and different things like that, and I wasn't sleeping enough, and all these different types of things that were adding up to, obviously, me overtraining. And I think that is what, everybody can listen to. They can listen to their bodies when, it's hungry. Okay, eat. If you're tired, okay, sleep. There's enough time in your day to manage your time so you're doing the right things.
There are tips.
But what if you're tired all the time?
If you're tired all the time,
there's something wrong.
Something's going on. But yeah, I mean, listening to your body and also, using resources that are out there that are available to kind of educate you on what are the right choices. Clearly, smoking a pack a day is not the right choice to get you to be. That's better than a pack, but let's cut it back. Slowly. But yeah, so I would really just say, listen to your body when it's telling you one thing or another. Of course, if your body is telling you I'm hungry, we're not going to sit and eat a whole pint of ice cream, but make those right choices so that you can be the best version of yourself.
I'd like to thank you also for the choices that you've made with regards to your physician assistant position in obstetrics, your focus in that, and then your choice to coach and to support women gymnasts, recruiting women from high school to university in order to continue. I think that this question about gymnast or physician assistant kind of revolves more around the support of other women to have equal opportunities. And I think that one theme that I see arising kind of is like a main motivating force that I see. And I very much appreciate that because there needs to be more people to kind of uplift and create these equal opportunities in places like Armenia or the post-Soviet nations that might not have that. So kudos to you, and thank you for being an inspiration.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming to our show. We really enjoyed your company. You're so sweet.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
You're an inspiration.
We wish you good luck in all you do.
Yeah, we have to wrap up now and go to commercial yet again, but do you have any parting words?
I just appreciate, you guys giving me the time, chatting with me. This has been really fun. I'm very active on social media if anybody wants to find me, at Houry Gebeshian. And that's about it. Go out there, live healthy lives, everyone.
And this song is especially for you. We are the champions.
Yes.
Good luck, Houry-jan.
Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed?
Adamast, what are you doing?
He's trying not to forget where he came from.
We're back, and we have about 5 minutes to finish our show tonight. And of course, as usually, we
Calendar of events.
Who wants to start the Yerevan American Corner program? I do. Do I?
Do I?
Okay.
Do I?
Do I? Okay, I will. So every Friday at 4 p.m., Debate Club with Jim Daly. This week's debate topic is superstitions in various cultures. So if you guys want to join and discuss the theme, you can go ahead and register beforehand or just go there.
Just show up. Just roll up at 4 o'clock and participate.
Mm-hmm. Every Monday at 3 p.m., Reading Club. If you enjoy a good story and want to expand your vocabulary as well as practice your listening and speaking skills, join the Yerevan American Corner's Reading Club. Intermediate level of English is required for participation.
Otherwise, you won't get in.
Get out. And another one every Friday at 3 p.m., Teenage Club. The Yerevan American Corner invites all teenagers to their weekly teenage club to improve English and learn more about American culture and lifestyle. Fun, games, no homework, no assignments. Just enjoy your time there.
Unfortunately for this week, movies in English with a Russian accent is discontinued. So stay tuned for next week, and we will tell you what movies are available in English with a Russian accent.
And music events this week. We've got some good stuff coming up this week. May 5th, which is tomorrow at 9 p.m. We've got Funkabout playing at the venue. Nice mix of kind of blues, R&B kind of stuff. Real kind of chill fun band to watch. May 7th at 9:30, we've got Marby and the Freeform Jazz Band at Mezzo. I've seen them perform. They're great, but I always wonder, jazz? It's pop, R&B, kind of standards and whatever. It's great stuff. Go check it out if you haven't seen them before.
It's freeform, man.
It's freeform.
There's no definition here.
May 10th at 9 p.m. We've got Rosenthal and Fix, or Freedom is Expensive. They play at Polygraph.
A new venue that just opened up 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet. This is the first time I've heard about it. But the two bands are great. So go check that out if you're into rock and kind of experimental rock stuff. That's Fix, Freedom is Expensive. They're kind of a mishmash of styles. May 10th at 7:30 p.m., we've got jazz with Arthur Gregorian, the Arthur Gregorian Quintet at AGBU. Also on May 10th at 9 p.m., Armin Husnutz's Quartet at Green Dragon. And that is a great quartet, a great jazz quartet.
And a great last name, too, Husnutz.
Husnutz,
I like saying that, even with an American accent, Husnutz.
Then May 11th, 9 p.m. at the Stop Club, we've got Vordan Karmir, who I always refer to as the local System of a Down.
Yeah.
They are a great rock band. High energy, great guitar riffs. So that's all for music this week, at least in the bars and clubs.
And I have a surprise for Aramast. Go ahead. The English movie session at Kino Park.
Oh, we dug some up?
Yeah.
So apparently I have been given a very late notice of movies in English with a Russian accent. We do this segment because all movies in English have Russian subtitles. So here we go. Avengers Endgame, very big action movie making $1 billion from Hollywood.
So this is the Avengers characters performing Samuel Beckett's play Endgame? Is that what this is?
This would be very cultured and unlike many American-style Hollywood films, but unfortunately it lacks the sensitivity and nuance that many...
It's just another comic book movie?
Yes, a very big blockbuster one, too.
Yeah, it broke a whole bunch of records in the U.S.
Thank you, Comrade Aramast. Thank you.
Anyway, so Avengers Endgame, May 5th to 8th at 2:45 p.m. and 9 p.m. at 11:15 p.m. at some place that I don't know. Where is this?
At Kino Park?
At Kino Park.
Cinema.
It's Kino Park Cinema.
At Yerevan Mall. Thank you, Comrade Hazva.
Спасибо.
Пожалуйста. And now we're moving to... You didn't cover opera and ballet theater, did you?
No, I didn't. May 8th at 7 p.m., we've got Arshak II. It's an opera in 2 acts. May 11th and 14th at 7 p.m., we've got the premiere of 5 Letters, the ballet, in 1 act, accompanied by jazz music.
Yeah,
in the clubs this week, what do we have, Ina?
In the clubs, May 9th at 7 p.m., Mayfire Fest at the Embassy. There are bands Why Not? Indie punk rock from 8 to 9, then the Kindergarten alternative rock from 9 to 10 to 9:40, special guest hard rock from 9:50 to 10:20.
That's a great band name, Special Guest.
And we got our special guest.
Phoenix hard rock 10:20 to 11. And we are out of time. We still have theaters. Okay, I'll take a second. May 10th and 11th, 7 p.m. a new interactive performance called Guest at Art Cafe, and May 10th at 7 p.m. casting performance at State Musical Chamber Theater. Thank you guys.
That's it.
Thank you to both of our guests.
Thanks
Houry
for this show.
And Daniel, thank you for coming. It was great.
And thank you, Master Steve. And thank you, Ina.
And thanks.
And thank me,
And thanks,
Aramas.
Thanks all around. And we're signing off for this week.
And thank you, our viewers and listeners out there. Thank you. You make this possible.
Have a peaceful end of the weekend, and we'll be back.
We'll be back next week, Saturday night at 7 p.m. with the Great American Weekend.
Cheers.